What's up there, SEO pros? Welcome back to part 4 of the National SEO course. Today we are covering keyword research, and not just any keyword research. We're going to be covering how to use UEO and UIO, otherwise known as user experience optimization and user intent optimization, for finding optimal keywords. We're going to talk about what tools you need to use for your keyword research. We're going to talk about how to utilize tools for optimal keyword research. Then we're going to be talking about understanding that the main goal is to replicate what's working in a higher quality way. So let's first talk about UIO and UEO. So as you guys already know, it's really important to go after user intent and user experience based on the actual thing you're searching, not just a search rate. So when we go in and look at our different keyword tools, we want to make sure that we're not only looking at the search rates. So let's talk about what tools you're going to need to use. We have two options. We have free and we have paid. Now, here's how you decide whether or not you need a paid tool or a free tool. If you have a free tool, or if you're going to be going with a free tool, you're probably brand new and you're just starting out. That's completely fine. If you're a little bit more advanced and you want to use some of the techniques that I'm going to be using or explaining on, it is really worth it to get a tool that will show you what your competitors are ranking for. In terms of anything fancy like a keyword tool to tell you difficulty like KW Finder or something that's gonna maybe give you better keyword data, the free tools are fine. So let's just go into a free tool for the beginners, and then we'll go into a paid tool for people who want to get a little bit more advanced with what they're doing. So to start out, let's just say that we're going to try to rank for something around blue shirts. Say we want to rank for blue shirts. So as we talked about in one of the previous videos, we can see that this is usually product-based type pages that are ranking. So we know that this would probably be a product page that we're trying to rank. So all we have to do is just go into Keyword Planner under Google AdWords, click into here, sign in. Now, if you don't have a Keyword Planner or an AdWords account, you're gonna have to create one. But if it asks you for a credit card, you can just take the credit card off after you sign up. It's not gonna charge you unless you create an ad. Okay, so we're gonna go into the Keyword Planner tool, which should be under Tools and Keyword Planner somewhere. Hold on, they're always moving this up on me. There it is, Keyword Planner. Now, we're going to click on Find Keywords. We're going to enter our keywords. So we're just going to do blue shirt. Put that in there. Get started. And now we're going to see all the data around blue shirt. So you can see here we have a few different things. We have average monthly searches, which is 8,100. We have high competition, and this is just has to do with how many people are bidding on the keywords. This has nothing to do with organic traffic or organic rankings. Ad impression share, I think that's how many impressions that you're actually taking part in of this. I don't really know actually what that one is. Top of page bid, so on average what you'd have to pay to get on top of the page one under the low range, and then under the high range what you would have to pay. So this is really good for getting ideas on things around shirts. Now, if you wanted to get better ideas though, in terms of like informational type keywords, you didn't want to just go for product-based keywords. A good way to look for keywords is to go to something like Answer the Public, type in blue shirt, and then this is going to give you more like questions and prepositions and comparisons, stuff like that. And this is really good for getting data. Let it load up. Go to data. You can see here, can a blue shirt go with black pants? Can you wear a blue shirt with black pants? How to wear a blue shirt? What shirt, blue suit? So here, again, you're going to be able to see data that's not just around the paid type keyword, because again, the intent for this is completely different than people who are looking for, let's say, let's go for how to wear blue shirt, because that's probably going to be more of a blog type article. So if you want to wear a blue shirt with jeans, choose different colored shoes. So here you go, boom, it's a blog post, and you can see this is sort of what the layout looks like. But again, just because you're going for blog posts doesn't mean that you can't start ranking for more national type keywords and then funnel people into your actual product type pages. This is how generally I recommend a lot of people start, is if you have a no authority, start by targeting longer tail type keywords. So again, longer tail meaning things that are going to rank for more that aren't as competitive because they're more specific, right? This is a lot less competitive than this search, right? 3 billion searches versus 952 million, I'm assuming. But if we look into actual search rates, we can go bring this back over to here. We can put in another one, so you can do multiple, get results. And now you go. Now here you go, how to wear a blue shirt. Now it says 10, right? You might be thinking, well, 10 searches, what's the point in creating an article for that? The point is that just because you're ranking for this doesn't mean you're not ranking for other variations of this keyword. Now I'll show you how you can actually figure this out based on the more competitive type keyword tool, or the paid type. So if you are going to get a tool for SEO, and we will be talking about tools more later on in part 10 of this guide, I would definitely recommend the first tool you get that's paid is either Ahrefs or SEMrush. Now SEMrush is a little bit cheaper and it basically does the same thing. I like Ahrefs because you get a little bit more data and a better layout in my opinion, but overall SEMrush is still perfectly fine. So SEMrush, what you can do is you can just take a URL like this one, you just copy it, you can plug it in here, and now we can see everything that page is ranking for besides that one keyword, how to wear blue shirt. Now, as you guys know, there's a little secret for this. If I just get rid of this, because I don't have SEMrush, it'll actually show me under, where is it? Organic research. Okay, I didn't grab that actual page. It's not giving me that actual page for some reason. So I think you actually have to filter by that page in SEMrush. I don't have the subscription, so I'll just use Ahrefs. But again, it's basically the same thing. Just enter your URL, boom, click into it. And you can see 124 organic keywords total ranking. So boom, you see how that's a lot more potential traffic because of all the variations other than just that one keyword search of 10 that we're looking at. So that page could actually be receiving hundreds of monthly visits off of Google, and it doesn't have to be just, 10 searches. So it's better to target topics like types of topics instead of just targeting like one keyword or trying to rank just based off of a high search rate. Just because it's a low search rate doesn't mean you can't build authority, doesn't mean that you can't start ranking for related keywords. Now, what I recommend is if you do have a paid tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush, it would be really helpful for you to not only look up keywords like this and start mapping them out, which we're going to get more into keyword mapping later on. I'm going to show you how to do that. But it is also going to be important to actually figure out what are some of the competitors that are doing really well in your industry. Let's say if we go look for blue shirts and this 1 Hour Tees site is ranking really well for keywords that we want to rank similarly for. What we can do is we can plug them in, go there, boom, search. And here we go, organic keywords 28.9 thousand. So if we click into that, we can actually see all the different pages that are ranking on that site. Now this will help give us ideas on things that we can rank for as well. Or again, we can start figuring out things that we want to write about just based off something like this, and then go and create content off of that, and then just, re-optimize our posts according to how we're ranking, which I'll show you in a second how to do that. But super important to be able to figure out what's working for other people and what are the vulnerabilities in terms of what they're not doing correctly. So if we click into this URL, okay, looks like it's just a regular post. Maybe this is a keyword we want to map out. So we keep track of this URL. Let's just go into our audit sheet. I'll just give you a quick overview of keyword mapping. Go into our template. I'm going to have to go through here. Go to keyword map, and what we would do is we would take the keyword or the URL. There it is. That's the URL we want to rank. And actually, let's get the full URL. There it is. Plug it in there. And this would be competitor research mapping. So you'd actually be figuring out what URLs the other people are ranking. For you, you'd probably actually just put your example URL. So you would just put, how to, how to shrink shirt. So that would be the URL if you don't have the content already. So you can have two different sections. You can have one where it's your current keywords on the site and you're mapping them out, and then your new pages, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll cover this in a little bit more detail later on. Don't worry about it too much. But either way, we just have our how to shrink a shirt. We would have the keyword that they're ranking for. So you can see here, this is the main keyword, 1,100 monthly searches. And this title thing we need to remove. And what this is doing for us is it's telling us, okay, this is a keyword we want to go for. The search rate's 1,100. Now, the next part of this is bringing this over to benchmarking, which again, we'll talk about later. And what you would do is you'd actually put in here, let me get rid of all this stuff. You'd put in here the keyword, the URL, and the search rate. And then you would figure out what the averages are for this result. So if we know that on average the top 10 pages have, or top 20 pages have 800 words, that's how many we'd probably want to put in that page if we were to create it. And it's pretty easy to do, right? You're just going and figuring out what the averages are either by eyeballing it or by getting the benchmarker software that I have here, where you can just enter a keyword and then a URL that you're trying to rank. It'll go crawl the top 20 and it'll tell you what your deficits are based on the top 20. So this is a way that you can start finding deficits pretty easy just based on averages. Now, there's other ways that you can find deficits in pages, not just off of averages. There's things that you can take from what people are doing individually and then combine it into one page or one technique. And what I mean by this is if we go look to how to shrink a shirt and we see that one page is ranking with a numbered list, and then we see another page is ranking with, let's say, aggregate rating, which we'll talk about schema later, then we know that, okay, maybe we should put aggregate rating. We also know that this other post is also ranking with GIFs. So maybe we should combine the two. Then we go to the next one and we see that this page is ranking with a YouTube video. So what I'm getting at is that just because people are ranking doesn't mean that you can't go and make something better based on what's already out there. But the point is that you want to try to figure out what they're lacking. You can also see that this title tag doesn't really have any qualifiers in it. So they're not actually putting like how to shrink a shirt, t-shirt, and then maybe an extra related term would be how much does cotton shrink? And by putting that in there, you're going to get a higher click-through rate, which will probably help bring you up. Or maybe this is informational based, and if you add another 500 words or 1,000 words, it might rank higher. But again, the point is just to figure out what multiple people are doing well and then try to figure out how you can do better based on that. Now, if you are targeting 1,100 monthly search rate keyword right, or 11,000 monthly keyword search rate keyword right off the bat and you don't end up ranking, it's probably because you don't have a lot of authority. So in order to start generating authority, one of the things that you can start focusing on is building list type content. Now, what does that mean? It means that instead of targeting something like how to shrink a shirt, you would do maybe like top ways to, I don't know, shirt, top ways to fit clothing or something that's more shoulder niche related, like something that's close to what you're wanting to go for, but not exactly targeting that main search rate keyword, because here you're going to be able to elaborate a lot more. A good example of this is a client that we wound up getting to rank #1 for beginner fishing tips. We found that the top article in that niche was top 30 fishing tip or top 10 fishing tips based on everybody who's ranking. So we knew that, if there's only 15 tips per each of these posts, if we maybe put like 30 or 40 tips, we could easily probably rank it. And here we go. Boom. We put 38 tips on there. And as you can see here, that page alone is ranking for 637 keywords, and that's just off of one page. If we went and relaunched this content, meaning we put another 30 tips out there, this might even rank for more stuff. But the point is that you're creating evergreen content that you can continually add to if it doesn't rank the first time. If you're a website like Apple or Petco or something like that, you can put out like a 500 word post and you could actually probably have it rank without having a lot of effort. But if you're a brand new site, you want to focus on building something called cornerstone content in the beginning. So again, things that you can continually add to, things that it's not like 5 ways to do something, and then also not targeting super competitive general phrases right off the bat. You want to try to rank for something that's more broad so that you can optimize based off how that ranks. Now, how does that happen? How do you optimize based off how something ranks? So if you have Search Console set up, you can actually click into it like this. You can go into a page that you wound up putting out there. Let's just go click into a page that I did like 10,000 words on white hat SEO tips or white hat SEO techniques. So you can see the last 30 days, actually let's go by 90 days. The last 90 days, this actually got changed over from a different URL, but whatever. Last 60 days, whatever it is, we got 66 clicks for white hat SEO, 36 clicks for white hat SEO techniques 2018, 15 clicks for white hat SEO 2018, 13 clicks for SEO techniques 2018. So you can see it's getting clicks for a bunch of different things, right? Because it's a large variety of content. So that means Google's experimenting with putting it on the search results, as you can see here from the average positions for different keywords, for different things. So if I look into all the different things it's ranking for, I see the average positions, 11, 1, 1, 11, 11, 6, 2. I can go and say, okay, you know what? White hat SEO, maybe I'm not targeting the right intent. We got a 0.89% click-through rate. Maybe this isn't the thing that I want to go for this post. Maybe I just want to try to hammer on being #1 for white hat SEO techniques 2018. And when it comes to 2019, I'll try to rank for the same thing except for 2019. Or maybe I want to go for latest SEO techniques because there's 6% click-through rate there. But the point is that just because it's ranking for a competitive keyword really well, doesn't mean that's what people are looking for. So if I click into white hat SEO, what is white hat SEO? White hat SEO, how to rank without breaking the rules. What is white hat SEO? 7 white hat SEO techniques. So maybe it is sort of the intent, but also we have to figure out, what the saturation is. If really competitive sites are ranking for those keywords, and I don't want to just keep hammering on this article, and I just want to say that this is the thing I'm trying to rank for and call it a day and go on to the next article, that's probably more important than spending all of my time just trying to rank for something just because it has a high search rate. So how do you re-optimize a post after you figure out what it's ranking for, right? Maybe you put something out there and then a month later it's ranking for all these different things. Well, the way you re-optimize it is you go and you change the information to be more specific around these keywords based on, again, averages. So if I click on here, white hat SEO techniques 2018, and I go back into my software and I go put that in there, it's going to tell me all the stuff that I need to know around that subject. So again, this is what it looks like. If I go to export results, how to shrink a shirt, I can see here that for certain things, I need to add 500 more words. I need to add 23 more images. But this actually takes a lot of the guessing work out, right? Unfortunately, this is going to tell you the average word counts, the word frequencies that you need to mention more of, stuff like that. But it's not going to tell you what the layout looks like. The layout really comes down to what you are seeing in that niche. So if we see white hat SEO techniques 2018, it's mainly, you can see numbered based lists. Then this is probably something that I want to go for more and then actually put a number in front of my title, right? I don't have that on mine. So I'm just doing this based off what's ranking based on what I'm mapping out. But it's really important that you map out what you're doing, because if you don't, you're going to end up, again, just optimizing for a keyword or a search rate without actually understanding what the intent is, what the layout is, what the vulnerabilities are, and so on and so on. And this is in any niche. Something else I recommend that's, we're going to be talking about a little bit more later as well is, not just looking for what's working well on Google for people, actually look and see if people are doing well on social media. So if we go and look at this person's social media profiles, let's see if we can find them. Go to Facebook. Okay, go down. Not sure what's taking so long. Here we go. So 20 likes, 3 comments, 2 shares. 4 likes, 1 share. 82 likes, 45 shares. 10 likes, 4 shares. So as you can see, they're doing something on social media, on Facebook, that the theme could probably be replicated onto a different page in the same industry. So if you're not observing what's going on in your industry on not just Google, but other facets like YouTube, Facebook, you could be losing out on a lot of opportunity. And again, you don't have to completely copy people, but if you can take what they're doing right and start experimenting and see if that works for you, and then bring more value into that by maybe combining what other people are doing or your own ideas, that's how you're going to really start winning in your industry. So this doesn't just come down to keyword research. It has to come down to figuring out what people want in your industry and not just optimizing for a search rate or for people to hit your site, but actually understanding why people are going to hit your site, why they're searching that, why they're trying to find your brand, and then hitting on those things as hard as you can in multiple industries or multiple platforms. So we'll talk more about hitting on multiple platforms and cross promoting and setting up your call to actions and that kind of stuff later. But that's it today for keyword research. If you guys have any questions or you wanted me to cover anything in more detail, let me know. Again, the keyword research, kind of basic, but we'll be covering a little bit more advanced stuff around benchmarking and what you need to know around that. But those are the basic principles. So I hope you enjoyed that. And until I see y'all next time, happy SEOing.